What's poppin', y'all? The other day, Aiden Ross got dragged into some drama by an old friend that he cut off a while back by the name of Prime. And now Aiden was forced to address it. This started when this guy Prime would link up with another streamer, Clavicular, just randomly out in the open because Prime barely streamed. And he was in a van and exclaimed that he would rather have joined AMP and regretted joining SSB.
I'll take over everything, bro.
It does.
I wish I took AMP.
Really?
I love the gambling deal I got though.
Yeah.
But I wish I took AMP.
Well, that's why the especially being loyal to a fault exists, you know? Like, a lot of people are like, put loyalty over everything, they do get screwed over.
Niggas don't know what loyalty is nowadays. If I can make a point.
That's like the main thing my dad instilled in me.
Like, he's
loyal.
He's loyal. He's loyal. But when it's time to make a bag, it's time to make a bag, right? But, gang, I knew about AMP before it started. And I could have been an AMP. I should have took it. Because that's what Kai told me. He was like, I'm about to start this group. My David started a group called AMP.
Yeah.
And I decided to stay with SSB. Biggest regret of my life. I swear to God.
The thing that I'm always going to be loyal to him because he's the one who brought me up, man.
No, stay loyal.
Yeah.
But look, bro, if I would have took the AMP deal, I would never be in this truck right now. I'm not gonna lie. I would have probably been in the mansion right now.
You can get back in the mansion, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm in the penthouse though.
Yeah.
So after this, and also after people kept bringing it up in Prime's next stream the next day, he would go in on Aiden Ross and talk about how he would get vicious with Aiden, not gonna lie.
You fake Dauphine crackhead. You a crackhead. Dauphine. I don't care. No, I don't wish death on shit. Gonna overdose from lean. Can't get off lean. Crackhead. Stop showing that fake scripted video of that so-called bought me a crib. Didn't buy me no crib. Stop showing that shit. Didn't buy me a crib. Stop putting it on my name. Didn't buy me no crib. I've been in a crib. I've been in Miami for 2 years. Who the least y'all see around? Who the least y'all seen around in this so-called group? Who the least nigga y'all see around in this group? Who the least y'all see around in this group? What a genuine niggas at, bro. We call it funny Marco, bro. I gotta get the f out of this sucking that community, bro. Stop calling me. If I don't want to talk, I don't want to talk. Sucking, I'm going to the. Hey, get me the f out of Miami, bro. Please. I don't want to be. I'm tired of these fake lean simping ass suckers, bro. I'd rather go broke than cater to this bullshit no more. I'm fed up. I don't have nothing to lose no more. I'd rather go broke than lose everything in my life than suck no more, bro. I'm done with that shit. Take everything from. I don't care. I've been homeless before. I go homeless again. I don't need money. These on my mom, on my dead mama. They want to use everything to try to cut me off more when it's been cutting me off. These lame ass. On God, I'd rather go broke. I ain't asking for. I don't want no collabs with. I don't want shit from nobody. I don't care what make. Take it back. I don't want it. It's fake love. You got views. Everybody your friends. If you got clout, everybody's your friend. But soon as you fall off and you ain't got no views, oh, you disappear. Oh, you don't get invited to nothing. Man, get the fuck out of here. I don't want no fake around me. If you don't claim me off this stream, don't claim me on no stream. And if the shoe fit, wear it. I ain't pointing no fingers. Y'all know who I'm talking about. If the shoe fit, wear it. Clip this. Make this go viral.
It's crazy calling people dope fiends when this guy is, or from what we've seen, he cannot handle his liquor and he seems to enjoy his liquor. And this got crazy because just 2 examples. I'm going to give you guys 2 different examples of Aiden Ross talking about this guy because he's saying, yo, these guys don't want to hang out with him. That's part of the reason. Or there was one individual. It seems like he's talking about one specific individual from SSB, which is Aiden Ross's group, that did not want to hang out with him because this guy got moved into Miami and he got given a car and a house by Aiden, quote unquote. We don't know what it means to give somebody a house because if you guys recall, and you probably don't recall, so I'm going to help you recall, FouseyTube at one point he bought his mom a home in New Jersey, in Princeton, New Jersey, which is where his brother has a dental practice. His older brother's a very successful guy. So he bought that home, but he didn't pay off the entire home. So it was mortgage. He put a down payment on it, which means he needs to keep up the payment payments. Fusi was unfortunately unable to keep up the payments because I think he was manic at that time, and I believe he bought a Ferrari in cash. So he had to, it must have been heartbreaking for him to do this. He had to kick his mom out of the house because he couldn't keep up the payments and he had to sell the house. So that's something that could have been what happened with Prime, and he wasn't actually given an apartment, or it wasn't like completely paid off and he had to take over the mortgage or start paying off the rent, something like that. Maybe Aiden just put the down payment on it and he expected him to keep making money because these guys were the OG streamers on Kick. He made sure that they all got a deal. But here's a clip of Aiden talking about an arrest that happened to Prime back 2 years ago.
Approach Prime and just say, hey, bro, could you leave? Could you leave? Could you leave? We're getting, could you leave? He said no. He said, this is trespassing. He wasn't flashing us, but he had it out. Somebody had it out around the pool, okay? Guys, they're not going to lie. I just got the phone. They're not going to lie, okay? That's what happened. The cop didn't want to even do anything with Prime. The cop just said, all right, I'm just going to ask Prime to leave. Like, you know what I mean? It's Florida, guys. You're allowed to carry your guns. He's just like, yo, I'm just going to tell him to leave the hotel and he's good. So why are you snitching? I have to do this in order for the event to go on because I have a very strong relationship with Miami PD, and that's it. Prime is, Florida is an open carry state. Yes. Yes, it is. All right? So the hotel is technically private property. It wasn't Prime. I know. If you could let me speak, that's why I said people. I never said Prime had his flashing his gun. Never said that.
And then there was also another instance where Prime was with Charleston White in Las Vegas. Aiden Ross got them together. I think this was the first time Aiden Ross had ever hung out with Charleston White.
No, listen, this man was asking me a question. This man was, you into my though, but you into my though. Watch you watch out what you want. You a nigga punk? Yeah. You came and jumped in. You ain't gonna do that. What you gonna do then?
You better get that way.
What you gonna do?
You gonna get your knife?
I don't get no knife. I know what you do. Then I'm gonna throw the punch. Then I'm gonna, what you gonna do?
Mason, you wanna get close?
And I'm gonna spray it too. Keep talking, nigga. I'm gonna spray it like you gonna do something. You ain't gonna do a motherfucker.
Hey, bro, I know how to handle the situation.
Pretty ass punk.
What the
bro? Come on, homie, you just came and jumped into something. You ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
The end.
It's just not that serious, bro. None of this shit is serious, bro. I'm just saying, none of this shit is...
The end.
Me? What did I do?
It's the end,
I jumped out of this shit.
Come on, homie.
He got Mason, he got bare Mason in.
You come jump into something you ain't got no business in.
Put that Mason
say, homie, he booked me to come here, not you.
He booked me too.
I don't give a fuck, but you ain't the nigga, though.
Fuck talking to me, dude.
You ain't the nigga,
You clout chase this all day.
Clout chasing, homie. I ain't been with him in 2 days.
That camera come on.
I ain't been with him in 2 days.
Yeah, nah, hell no, we can't do this right here. I'm about to say, cut this shit, bro.
You bitch ass nigga, you ain't gonna do a motherfucking thing. I played dirty. No, I played dirty. Okay.
What the fuck, bro?
So isn't it hilarious how Aiden Ross damn near disappears in the middle of that? I had to rewind the clip because I was like, yo, where'd this guy go? It's almost like one of those things where if you've ever seen that video where they're like, oh, focus on this. And then like, oh, did you see like a gorilla pass by? And you're like, what gorilla? And then they replay the video for you and some guy in a gorilla suit just runs by. It's one of these like vision tests, quizzes, things. It's a for fun thing, just to show you how your vision works. But that's what happened here. Charleston was really mad at Aiden after this event because he was like, yo, why'd you got this black man like kind of acting like fruity towards me? And then these guys got into it. But these are 2 instances of Prime, and I've showed you a clip in the previous video of Prime just bumping into people in Vegas.
Me. Did you ask her to keep it? I'm outside, just to let you know. Dog side. I'm not moving no white person. What's up? Easy. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Easy. Okay. No, just fix it. Come outside. Come outside. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
So here, Aiden Ross, this was Aiden Ross's response.
The Prime stuff, I mean, there's not really much to talk about, bro. Like, I don't even know what to say about that shit, bro. Listen, this is the only thing I'll say about Prime. I don't like to speak when I've done it a lot for people. You could clearly tell he's going through it, and I wish him nothing but the best. I didn't appreciate him saying, like, I hope they all die off lean and overdose. He knows my sister just passed away, and he can say what he wants to say. Like I said, I wish him nothing but the best. Whenever he was on stake and I was on stake, I never made sure his deal got dropped, even though it was threatened many times to get dropped. whether it was him, whether it was a lot of other friends that wouldn't stream at that time. If you're around Kick 2023, you know my friends, they weren't streaming consistently, so they were threatened to get dropped by Eddie all the time. And I always made sure, and I always put myself on the line to make sure motherfuckers never got their deals dropped when I was on stake. It's a fact. I mean, you could just look back at it and stuff like that.
I think this was the most mature response Aiden Ross could have ever given, because Aiden Ross, he made sure that these guys kept their deals. And why do I say that this is such a big deal? Because these guys were lazy. Like, when I'm telling you, these guys were so lazy because they thought that the money was going to continue. Aiden Ross, he used to be with Stake. Stake is Kick. Stake owns Kick. So when they first got these people on the platform, they gave fat deals. So what would these guys do? They weren't incentivized to stream. They would maybe hop on, do whatever gambling they needed to do for their deal, make a fat check, and then dip. Now things have changed a lot. Like, the deals aren't that high anymore for Stake, which is part of the reason why Aiden went to this competitor, because the competitor's shilling bread because they want to bring more people over to their casino. So now you have this competition, which doesn't work in favor for Aiden Ross's homies, who Aiden Ross even said, I made sure that these guys kept their deals, even though they were barely streaming. Because these guys wanted to grow the streaming platform. And by these guys, I'm talking about Kick. But they were also, I think they were giving guaranteed money to Aiden Ross's homies if they met a very, very low quota of streaming just to gambling, because that's what they were focused on at first. And they just did that, and they didn't stream at all. Like, if you're talking about back then, when were these guys even streaming? Like, Cuffham was lazy as hell back then too. But now Cuffham's like one of the most active streamers. And that's why they moved people over. They were like, okay, giving people guaranteed bread, it doesn't work. We got to incentivize them some other way. So Kick started throwing on this like hourly rate thing to get these people incentivized to stream. And Aiden Ross would even again let everybody know how much love he still had for Prime.
But I'm not gonna say Prime, none of that, bro. I got nothing but love and respect for the guy. He's mad that he doesn't get included and stuff a lot. I'll be honest, like he wants to do what he wants to do in life. I'm gonna do what I want to do in life. I don't kick it with Cuffham like that. I don't kick it with anybody like that really anymore. I just sit here. I even offered Prime. He knows. I said, if you want to go back to Atlanta, I'll help you get back to Atlanta. I'll whatever the moving cost is, stuff like that. I saw a clip where he said like that was a fake scripted video when I bought him. I didn't buy him a house. I never said I bought it. I paid for his car, and I bought him, or I rented his condo out. I'm not gonna be fake about it. I mean, dude, like it's a liability to have someone like that around when they're crashing out constantly, they're getting drunk, and they're doing things. I don't want to have that stuff around. I mean, it's like that's just the truth.
So despite all the issues that this guy created for Aiden Ross is still saying, listen, man, if he doesn't want to be in Miami, he doesn't got the money, I'll make sure he's straight. I'll make sure he gets back to Atlanta. I'll make sure he gets back to where he needs to be. Because just looking at it, he's a liability, an absolute liability. He doesn't know how to act. And Aiden Ross is trying to build a huge event. You can't have people getting arrested. I'm not going to lie. Like, not Adrian Broner. I think AB, and that's always the first person that comes to my mind about billions. But we're talking AB, the former football player. What's his name? Antonio Brown. Yeah, we're talking about Antonio Brown. We haven't seen Antonio Brown around Aiden Ross because Antonio Brown let it off. Well, what's going on with his arrest? I don't even really know. But despite him calling Aiden a dope fiend, saying he could have died or he wished he died or something like that, Aiden still has it in his heart, like loyalty for this guy, to just make sure he's straight. He's just like, I can't have you around. You're volatile. And he gave him chance after chance after chance, years of chances before he cut him off. All the other people got it together. And all the other people really, they just had a laziness problem. This guy was the only major liability. And now he's trying to walk it back. So Prime, he's talking about like, nah, I didn't say I wished I joined AMP. Yes, he did.
The thing, you saw I wanted to join AMP. I didn't say I wanted to join AMP. I just say AMP is a more better team, and it's like they did it the right way, gang. The way our was done was just not right. That's all. They was the better team. That's facts. That's just facts. That's not a secret though. Gang, 90% of the time what we do, gang. I really think it was gambling though. You know what we did though, gang? Like not gambling. not gambling. What we do when we what every person do.
So here he is talking about he didn't want to join he didn't say he didn't want to join AMP, that he just got the offer and AMP ended up being a better group. No, AMP is a better group, of course. AMP's constantly doing content together. And Aiden Ross, he's not even really doing content with Cuffham. Like he'll have Cuffham here and there, but when has Aiden Ross really done content with Cheezer? And not really. AMP, yes, they've always been more of a group than Aiden's SSB, and they were always like kicking it together, but that doesn't mean that this guy Prime didn't say what he said. In that car ride, in that Sprinter van, he said, yeah, Aiden, he should have joined, biggest mistake of his life was joining SSB. He should have joined Kai Cenat AMP because he invited him because Davis was going to start a group. That's what he said. He should have joined AMP. So I don't know why he's trying to take back something that he said that everybody saw and that spread everywhere. Yeah, you can't do that. I do think that now the guy's got a new life. He's got another chance to be consistent in this content stuff. He is somewhat of a crash out. He's like entertaining. He can go back and forth. He's got beef. He's what a teenager, early 20s person would want to watch. They're like, okay, anything can happen with this guy. And he's got enough motion right now where he should just try to be consistent and he'll make a living enough to survive. And, you know, if he's ever down and out, Aiden's still got his back. But I think this just goes to show how terrible this guy must have been for Aiden to cut him off, because despite all the disrespect that he was saying about Aiden Ross was still saying like, listen, man, I don't got anything bad to say about that guy. If he needs my help, it is what it is. And he's talking about Aiden when Aiden just lost his sister like 2 months ago, and he's talking about him being a dope fiend. You don't think Aiden was looking at that bottle thinking about ordering some walk when that was going on? I don't mean that in a funny way. Like, he was probably down and out. He probably relapsed. I don't know. But after something like that happens, to kind of talk about him in that way when he has never publicly said anything bad about Prime. He just says like, yeah, you know, that was my, or he's like, we don't really talk about that. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.